So today we're going to get the material for a new project I'll be starting, and that's a full kitchen's worth of cabinets, all nice white oak stained. It's gonna be nice. It's a big project to take on. It's probably the biggest I've taken on by myself, but I'm excited to do it. So this morning we're gonna go get all the wood and material for the project, come back and maybe start working on it today. Yeah, let's go get some wood. All right, back to the shop. Got all the wood. Start cutting it up, and we'll start slicing it up today and building some cabinets. "15 sheets of plywood, nice quarter sawn white oak, and maple for the drawers." Alright, so today's just going to be a rough cut day, getting all the plywood broken down into pieces, and then we'll start building the boxes. I'm in the office right now getting together the SketchUp file and all the information as far as all the cuts go, and yeah. So here's the kitchen, not too big, but got some cool little details. This arch detail here, and it's all going to be quarter sawn white oak, so it's going to look very nice. Nice simple crown at the top. So we're going to get started cutting all the pieces for the bottom cabinets today, and maybe start assembling some of the face frame material, get it all ripped down. So we got the plywood rough cut, and I'm going to start making the face frames and stuff tomorrow or Monday. But yeah, slowly getting progress made. I got a cut list all made up for the face frame and everything. But other than that, it's coming along wonderfully. All right, day 2. So I'm going to be doing the bottom cabinets, going to build those completely first, and then we're going to work on the upper cabinets, save me some space here because we don't have a lot of room to work with. So I'm going to get those cabinets built fully out of the shop, and then we'll build the upper cabinets. But yeah, let's get to cutting down the face frame material. So real quick, I thought it might be helpful to explain how I got the shop configured right now as far as efficiency goes. So we got the miter saw over here, table saw set in the middle going this way, and then our joiner is over there. So rough cut the material here, set it here, hit one side with the joiner, get a straight edge, set it back to the table saw here, straight edge pointing towards the fence. We'll run all the rips through, set them back over here, and then be able to make our final length cuts. And then we'll clear the workbench and start building the face frames. But yeah, just thought that's kind of it's a nice circular flow. So yeah, just something to think about in your own shop, in your own workflow. Try and make things flow easily. Let's get back to it. Alright, and we're constructing the face frames, and then we'll be ready to build the boxes and keep on rolling. Alright, so we're back in the shop finally. Time to get some work done tonight. When building anything, really, the key to it flowing easily and smoothly and not having any major disasters strike, that comes down to planning. So, as you've seen, I have drawn this whole kitchen up on the computer. So I have a 3D model of exactly how long, how wide each cabinet should be, everything. And I take that and I translate that onto paper. I just write it down. I'm sure there's a way you could print it off and have, but I just get all my face frame measurements, everything here, and I basically draw out and I add any little special notes. For instance, in the corner where there's a cabinet for the sink, and then there's another cabinet that comes off at a 90 to that. Both of those face frames in that corner are bigger and also don't fully extend to the floor like all of the other normal styles on the face frames do. So it's just taking the time to plan and taking the extra 10-15 minutes before you start cutting all your wood up, before you start doing any building, to just, okay, get a game plan together and then execute on that plan. Makes things so much easier than to just start building and saying, well, we need that, I'm missing that, oh wait, that's not the right length because of that. So planning and thinking ahead as much as possible is going to help you tremendously. So yeah, we're going to start building more face frames, so let's get to it. So we got one more face frame to build, then we'll start building boxes. So to make the boxes, I grab a face frame. We're going to measure the outside of the face frame. This one's 12 and a half. So on the side of this box, there's going to be a stove and a refrigerator. So you're just going to, so there's no finished panel on either side. So we're going to still set in the box itself, 1/16 of an inch from each side. So it's 12 and a half, so we'll make the box 12 3/8. Then I just take two of these pieces of plywood and stick them together, hold my tape measure 12 3/8 to the bottom side, and I see that on the opposite side, on the top side of these two pieces of plywood, there's 11 inches. So that is going to be my cut for both the nailer strips, the bottom, and then the toe kick box that we're going to make. So we're going to set the table saw at 11 inches, cut everything down, and then you'll see kind of how all those pieces end up the same. That way the cabinet stays nice and square and everything is the same. So I've gone ahead and cut a bunch of these pieces, which are 19 1/8 by the height of our toe kick box. And so these will go in between the front and back pieces of the box. They'll be nailed together, and then our top will sit on here, and then we bring our side panels in, nail that together, and then our box, and then we nail the top nailers in, and then our box is pretty much done and put together. So I'll kind of nail one of these together and you'll see kind of how that goes. So, let me show you the underside of this last cabinet. So you can see here, this is the box we made. There is a front piece of the box, a back piece of the box, two side pieces. These side pieces are going to be exactly the same for every base cabinet because the toe kick is the same depth on every base cabinet. So I cut a bunch of those and I have those ready to go for all my cabinets. There's a nail strip here which is nailed to the box, and you nail up through that into the bottom of this cabinet to hold the bottom on. And then you take your sides, nail them to this, nail them, you can nail them from the inside if you're trying to finish one edge of the cabinet. Maybe you're painting it and you don't want to fill any holes, or maybe you're trying to stain one edge or whatever. So you can nail it from the inside, or in my case where these are not going to be faces or show faces, you're not going to see these faces, you can nail through there into the bottom. So what's great about this system is it's a bunch of pieces that you cut at the same time. So what you'll notice there is I cut the bottom to length, then I took another scrap piece of plywood and ripped it through at the same length, or rather I cross-cutted it to the same length. Then I take that piece, turn it, and I cut and I rip 5 pieces out of that. 2 pieces for the front and backs of the base box for the cabinet. And then 3 pieces for the top. 1 here for a face frame nailer, as well as support for the countertop, and another one here oriented the same way as this piece for a countertop. And then there's a piece here, and this is so that we can fasten the cabinet to the wall. And yeah, I assemble this whole thing with just staples. I use an 18 gauge stapler, and I use 1 1/4 staples, and just put a lot of staples in it and it will hold. It's the quickest way to do it, and once you have the face frame attached and the back attached, this box is really just one solid unit. It's not going anywhere. Super durable, especially we're making out of 3/4 plywood, so everything is good. The upper cabinets though, the construction is a little different. Alright, so I'm going to knock the other 2 base cabinets out, and then yeah, I'm going out of town, so that'll probably be the end of this vlog. Alright, so that wraps up this week. The base cabinets, there's still a little bit of work that needs to be done in them. Obviously the finishing and the end panels, but the main part of these cabinets are done, face frame and the carcass. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been fun to do. I love building things, and taking on this whole kitchen has been pretty fun. So yeah, that is kind of how things have been going lately. Still a lot of growing, still a lot of learning to do, and my business is very much new. I'm excited to grow, and it's a dream of mine to have this business as my full-time job, and that's where we're heading. That's where I'm trying to head, and I know one day we will get there. But yeah, I just hope that with these videos, number one, if you're watching, you can get just some inspiration out of it. I know watching other people build stuff on YouTube, seeing stuff on Instagram, it inspires me to really get out there and make something. And so I hope I can do that for you too. And if you are a seasoned builder, woodworker, maker, and you're just feeling kind of down and kind of in a rut, or if you're completely new, never built anything in your life before, I hope you can get some inspiration from my channel and the content that I produce here. And yeah, and number 2, tips and tricks. I try and share what I think is useful and helpful to anybody, because I know I always learn something new every day, whether I'm working with somebody else or watching a different video or seeing something online or something like that. So hope I can spread some knowledge, and yeah, hopefully these are entertaining somewhat. If you've enjoyed this week's video, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Comment down below what you think of this project so far, and let's just share who's watching. Are you a maker? Do you make things? Are you a woodworker? Have you ever made anything before? If not, that's okay. Share your guys' experience down there. Are you a seasoned professional and built thousands of kitchens, where I am taking on my first solo kitchen? I've done some in my other job, but yeah, let's just share some experience down below. Where are you at in your maker or builder journey? So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. We're starting the upper cabinets and gonna start getting into making the doors and all the trim pieces, and then hopefully into that beautiful arch detail. But that is more to come, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.